On the news tonight, President Buhari urges international cooperation to tackle insecurity. Eight million youths complete voter registration ahead of 2023 elections. And APC flag bearer Tinubu gets Director General for 2023 presidential election. Well, many thanks for joining us on News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. President Muhammadu Buhari has commended the collective efforts of nations towards tackling security challenges across the globe and within Nigeria, receiving the letters of credence of Canadian High Commissioner to Nigeria and the Ambassador of Mexico to Nigeria. President Buhari urged the duo to be guided by diplomatic practice, especially in the heat of the upcoming general elections in 2023. The president also advised the diplomats to focus on building on the successes of their predecessors.
The devastating effect of global insecurity, climate change, and the post-coronavirus era has devastated global economies. Nations continue to struggle to recover from these multiple global challenges. The ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine has undermined the progress countries have achieved in tackling food security in the last decade, while the political instability in Libya continues to fuel terrorism in the Sahel, as well as scatter the democratic sustenance in both West and Central African regions. Nigeria is not left out of the equation as we are fighting to rid our country of banditry, kidnapping, harder farmer crisis, and insurgency. We are, however, making meaningful progress with the support of friendly countries like yours to sustain these fights until we overcome these challenges.
The governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, says a Director General has been picked for the All Progressives Congress APC Presidential Campaign Council. Speaking after a meeting with the APC governors had with presidential flag bearer Bola Tinubu of the ruling party and Kashim Shettima, his running mate in Abuja on Monday, El-Rufai said other positions in the council are being discussed. The governor added that President Muhammadu Buhari and Abdullahi Adamu, national chairman of the APC, will be briefed before a formal announcement.
This is a delegation of the Progressive Governors Forum led by our chairman, Governor Atiku Bagudu. The party was represented by the National Secretary of the party, and we came to report on an assignment given to us by our presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and his running mate to begin the broad consultations and develop a structure for the Presidential Campaign Council. We have done some work on it. We've briefed the candidate and his running mate, and inputs have been taken. And our hope is that in the shortest possible time, the candidate will consult more with the party leadership and brief Mr. President and get his input, and then we'll formally unveil the Presidential Campaign Council. The decision has been taken on the Director General, but other positions in the Campaign Council are still being discussed, and the President and the National Chairman and National Working Committee will be briefed before a formal announcement.
On the 28th of June 2021, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) began the continuous voters registration exercise with plans to end it in exactly 12 months. But the massive awareness and participation in the exercise forced INEC to extend it to July 31st, 2022. With a total of 12.2 million voters registered in the continuous voter registration that ended on Sunday, the total number of registered voters in Nigeria may have risen from 84 million to 96.2 million. Our correspondent Abisola Adebayo tells us more in this report.
Determined to change the country's political trajectory in 2023, Nigerians, particularly the youths, trooped out in their numbers to register for their permanent voters card, a major deciding factor in choosing who becomes Nigeria's next president. At the end of the exercise, the Commission registered a total of 12.29 million new voters, bringing the total number of registered voters in the country to 96.2 million from the 84 million registered voters in 2019. In previous elections, one could say the Nigerian youth could care less about registering to vote, but there seems to be a new wave of reawakening for this group to perform their civic responsibility, as about 71% of the newly registered voters are youths, a far cry from the figure registered in 2019. Of the 12.2 million newly registered voters, about 8.7 million are between the ages of 18 and 34. While about 2.4 million are between the ages of 35 and 49. Of the 6 geopolitical zones in the country, Northwest and Southwest leads with a total of 22.6 million voters and 18.3 million voters respectively. The statistics released by INEC also reveal that more women registered during the just concluded CVR than men. Although the Commission has ruled out the possibility of another extension, INEC has assured the registered voters that the permanent voters cards (PVCs) for captured persons will be ready between October and November 2022. The Commission has also warned Nigerians to be wary of online scammers who claim to offer online registration despite the closure of the exercise. Abisola Adebayo, TV360 News.
Well, to speak more on this, political affairs analyst Omoriwi Ayigbe joins us now. Thank you very much for joining us. Now, you've seen the numbers. Would you say Nigerians, especially the youth, are becoming more politically aware?
That's almost like an affirmative, a rhetorical question, so to say. Yes, by the number that came out, it shows that more young people are getting excited to vote in 2023 elections. And it's also because of the structure that was adopted. You know, the registration became a carnival, and there were all manner of jamborees. And young people are really excited about stars, music stars, all of those strategies that went in were so unique, and they were targeted at young people. It meant that the strategy INEC and the civil society organizations adopted in mobilizing young people specifically to get registered had worked out. In Lagos, in Abuja, across the city, in Edo State, in Rivers State, you see a carnival nature strategy to get young people registered, and that has paid off.
Now, we've also seen that from the numbers released by INEC, Northwest and Southwest Zone led the number of registrants. What do you make of this, and what do you think is a major reason why these two zones add more registrants than other zones?
The two zones had the highest number of population numbers, Kano in the Northwest, Lagos in the Southwest. Those two numbers are enough to determine anything, because Lagos number, as you may know, Lagos has the highest number of population in terms of population figures in the country, followed by Kano and elsewhere. So those two states inform the reason why you have Northwest, Kano, and of course, outside Lagos in Southwest, you have other states like Katsina, Jigawa, and even though Sokoto don't have much big number, but Kaduna has a huge population number. So those three states, Katsina, Kaduna, Kano, did contribute to those numbers you saw. Aside Lagos, apart from Oyo State, Ekiti is about 900 and something thousand people. If you then put that side by side with like a state like Kaduna, they will almost remove 2 states from the Southwest. So that's why you see the Northwest number being the highest. And if you see the third in the hierarchy is the South-South. And the South-South, if you check the numbers, is Rivers, maybe Edo, Delta, whose number cannot be compared. Lagos can wipe out these 3 states in terms of population density. That's what you saw in those numbers.
But indeed, Omori Aigbe, political affairs analyst, thank you very much for your contribution and your time. Away from politics and now to health, the Lagos State government says the reintroduction of the Jigibola Healthcare Initiative is aimed at improving the vision of visually impaired Lagosians, irrespective of their age or class. Speaking at the relaunch of the Free Health Mission in Shomolu local government area of the state, the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, said the initiative was designed to strengthen the state's capacity for efficient eye care delivery at the grassroots, while urging Lagos residents, especially those suffering from visual impairments, to take advantage of the Jigibola initiative to improve their health. Sanwo-Olu maintained that a large number of cases of visual impairment could have been prevented if they were detected early and treated effectively.
Prevention is better than cure. We have brought the health to the people now. We're not waiting for them to get sick before they come to the hospitals. It's very important that they check themselves. Any opportunity they have, whether it's free, whether it's another another private people that are doing free health, free screenings, that they should take advantage of that and not play with their health at all. The team's agenda, and you have health, it's very paramount to Mr. Governor. Maybe because I myself am a medical doctor myself, and then it's very important that for our people to be top-notch with their health. That's a healthy nation, is a blessed nation, is a nation that can make the country more productive.
Yes, we have dental services where you can have your teeth checked. We do scaling and polishing, extraction of tooth there. We also have the general consultation where you meet with our doctors and they'll check you for blood pressure, blood sugars, and every other aspect of health. Yes, we started with phase 1. That's why we had Jigibola phase 1. That was in July, August 2021. So we are now in the phase 2. So we are covering the entire 20 local governments of Lagos State. We've done 7. We're doing another 8 now. And in the third edition, in the third phase, we'll be covering the remaining 5. So we'll cover the 20 local government areas.
Landlords and residents of Ikota housing estate in Lekki area of Lagos State have sent a Save Our Soul message to the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. According to the president of the Landlords Association, Titus Ewarawo, all petitions to curtail the atrocities of the land grabbers have proved abortive as they bring unrest to residents in the area. Some of the landlords also pleaded with the police authorities in the state to help investigate the disappearance of one of the residents.
They go to Ibejuleki, they steal people's land, they convert it to themselves, they even kill and maim. So for this essence, we believe that as law-abiding citizens, we have people from Ikorodu that are here. There is a connivance within the Lagos State Ministry of Lands and these land grabbers. Sometimes they even cooperate with some lawyers. Sometimes they operate more with police. And that is why we believe that no matter what, we are calling on the governor of the state, we are equally calling on President Muhammadu Buhari to address this issue of terrorists called land grabbers. The same law that is applicable to terrorists should be applicable to land grabbers because they kill, they maim, and they destroy unimpeded.
We go to the LBIC, and at the LBIC, the only thing that they tell us, they tell this Bere that the Bere should stop breaking the house there. Go and rely with her, go and follow the landlord and discuss. All to today, we never see a Bere, we not see the people that come and discuss Emmanuel Bere. And then from there, all these things still continue. That's why we run to the government that they should help us and give us our life back. This is our land. We have been staying here since 32 years.
In the allocation that they gave us, there is a paragraph there that says if anything is going to happen, you're going to liaise with the LBIC. So the CFO of the Ikota Housing Estate given to us by the government he said liaise with the LBIC because he's the one that has our CFO. So later on, up to date now, we've never seen Emmanuel Obiri.
Well, we'll take a break here, but still to come, pandemic kicks against planned implementation of 5% excise duty in telecom sector. Details of the story and more right after this break.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. President Muhammadu Buhari has commended the collective efforts of nations towards tackling security challenges across the globe and within Nigeria, receiving letters of credence of Canadian High Commissioner to Nigeria and Ambassador of Mexico to Nigeria. President Buhari urged the duo to be guided by diplomatic practice, especially in the heat of the upcoming general elections in 2023. We also told you that more than 8 million young Nigerians completed the recently concluded continuous voter registration exercise, with a total of 12.2 million voters registered in the continuous voter registration that ended on Sunday. The total number of registered voters in Nigeria may have risen from 84 million to 96.2 million. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletins, for more updates, do log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Google Plus at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. The popular Millennium Capac in Federal Capital Territory FCT has been reopened 19 months after it was closed due to the outbreak of COVID-19 in the territory. The FCT administration had in December 2021 shut down the park in order to contain the epidemic. During the reopening, the Minister of the FCT, Mohammed Bello, who led officials to the park on Monday evening, lamented that almost 95% of the parks in Abuja have totally derailed from the FCTA park policy. The minister also pleaded with those opposed to the FCTA park policy to have a rethink and support the administration in the journey to transforming all parks to serve their purpose. The European Commission has announced the signing of a joint procurement contract with Spanish pharmaceutical firm Ikota for the supply of its protein COVID-19 vaccine, which will be available if approved by the European Medicines Agency, EMA. The EU's executive said in a statement that 14 countries are participating in the agreement, under which they can purchase up to 250 million doses. The Ikota vaccine, which is currently under rolling review by the EMA, is being developed as a booster dose in previously immunized persons 16 years and older. We'll take a breather here and return with more stories and business. To stay with us. Welcome back. Abisola Adebayo is on standby to bring us up to speed on the latest in the world of business. Over to you, Bisola.
Thank you very much, Folashade. Welcome to Business News. The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, has kicked against the federal government's plan to implement a 5% excise duty on telecommunication services in the country. He spoke on Monday at the maiden edition of the Nigerian Telecommunications Indigenous Content Expo. Speaking on the development, Pantami faulted the timing and process of imposing the tax on the industry, arguing that part of the responsibility of responsive government is not to increase the problems of the citizens. He further advised the government to widen its tax nets to other sectors that are not contributing to national development as much as the telecommunications sector. Meanwhile, the federal government has clarified that it has not raised the pump price of petrol, premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, above the regulated cost of 165 naira per litre. It said the hike in the cost of the commodity, currently between 175 naira per litre and 230 naira per litre, was done by oil marketers. Speaking on the sidelines of the Stakeholders Consultation Forum on midstream and downstream petroleum regulations, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timi Silva, insisted that the government had not raised the price of PMS.
A lot is going on, and as at yesterday, I noticed myself that the queues in Abuja are going. I don't know whether you are seeing more queues, but I think a lot is being done to ensure that the queues are dissipated. Yes, I can tell you authoritatively, we have not deregulated. The government is subsidizing. If there are increases in price, it is not from the government. It's probably from the marketers. But of course, I will talk to the authority chief executive to ensure that they actually regulate the prices, but this is not from the government. We have not deregulated. Definitely, these legislations will make it easier for them to understand so that we can actually understand ourselves. The operators and the regulators will understand better what their roles are.
Well, we'll take a break now and return with a review of the stock market. Nigeria's stock market recorded its first positive close in the month of August today, as investors saw bargain hunting opportunities in most downbeating stocks on the floor of the exchange group. At the close of Tuesday's trading, the market advanced remarkably by 1.35% to close at 50,626 basis points, while market capitalization also added a total of 364 billion naira to close at 27 trillion naira. Honeywell topped the Advancers League after its share price price increased by 20 kobo from 2 naira 7 kobo to 2 naira 27 kobo. It's closely followed by Jais Bank from the financial services, who recorded a 7 kobo decline at the close of trading. On the flip side, Nichols and Wapik led the losers counter as they recorded a combined 12 kobo loss at the close of trading. Our market summary sees a total volume of 129 million units of shares valued at 2.8 billion naira, exchanging hands in 4,706 deals. Well, these are uncertain times on the floor of the NGX, and we can only hope that the bull does not give the bear a chance to reign this month of August. But as we always say in the business world, let's keep our fingers crossed. Moving on to the foreign scene, the FTSE, the Dow Jones and the Nikkei are all in the negative territory. Stocks across board overseas ended in the negative on Tuesday as investors worry about rising geopolitical tension after U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi landed in Taiwan. The House Speaker arrived in Malaysia on Tuesday as part of a tour in Asia, a mooted visit to Taiwan, however, a democratic self-ruled island that China sees as a runaway province, has sparked concerns over a conflict because the Chinese government has warned of serious consequences if Pelosi visits Taiwan. But the House of Rep Speaker damned all consequences visiting the country. Well, that's all on Stock Market Report. Back to Folashade for the rest of the news.
Well, many thanks, Bisola. We'll take off our international news from the end of Bisola's foreign stock, which says that 4 U.S. warships, including an aircraft carrier, have been positioned in the waters east of Taiwan on what the U.S. Navy called routine deployments on Tuesday amid China's anger over U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to the island. The U.S. Navy says the amphibious assault ship USS Tripoli was also in the area as part of a deployment to the region that started in early May from its home port of San Diego. U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi headed to Taipei on Tuesday amid intensifying warnings from China. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Grail Studios has launched the official trailer for its forthcoming action thriller Brotherhood ahead of its theatrical debut on September 23. The crime action thriller about twin brothers on opposite sides of the law features a fine blend of some of Nollywood's most talented new faces alongside industry veterans such as Ronke Oshudioke, Sam Dede, Omawumi, Folarin Falana Fowles, Toby Bakri, Bright Okpocha Basketmouth, Mercy Aigbe, Osi Ukeje, amongst many others. Producer Jade Oshiberu has said that the movie is geared up to hit a 1 billion naira mark at the box office. Meanwhile, Ugandan filmmaker Lukman Ali, who directed the film, recently dissociated himself from the project. According to Ali, the decision was made due to creative differences. The Kuti family on Tuesday marked the 25th death anniversary of the late Afrobeat legend Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Remembering their late father, who died on August 2, 1997, Femi and Seun Anikulapo Kuti, also musicians, paid tribute to the legendary singer. Hailing Fela as the soul of Afrobeat, Femi confessed that he still misses his father even after 25 years of the icon's demise. On his part, Seun Kuti praised his late father's contribution to African music and fearless condemnation of bad governance in Nigeria through his lyrics. And that is all we have on the entertainment segment of News Now.
And in sports, the Federation of International Football, FIFA, has ordered the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, to pay former Super Eagles coach Gernot Rohr as compensation of $378,000 following the early termination of his contract. The initial agreement between the NFF and Rohr was to pay his salary until the end of his contract, which will expire in December 2022. The 68-year-old had his appointment terminated by the NFF in December 2021 following the poor performance of the Super Eagles during the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. The ruling by FIFA added that the NFF will be sanctioned if Rowe was not paid in full within 45 days. And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.